Keith, hi. Yeah, you're pissing me off. I'm gonna need you to cut it out, okay? And before we get any further into this, I need anyone that is seeing this to know that this has nothing to do with these two candidates. What I'm about to say in this video, it has everything to do with media, influencers, and people just in general that have their extremely hot takes, but particularly media and content creators such as Keith, with their strong and misinformed, loud and wrong, targeted and at times racist takes about our Senate race that is putting people's lives at risk because of what it takes to get these people in office. This has nothing to do with James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett. I am undecided, but I like both of these candidates and have talked to both of their teams. Okay, so this ain't about them. This is about Keith and friends. I know everybody and their mama want to weigh into this Texas Senate race. I know we're very popular right now, but your takes on this shit are rancid, and I need you to stop. And not only are they rancid, they're also dangerous, which is why I'm making this video, because a lot of people that do not live here have a lot to say, and I'm not finna let y'all do that. And for anyone that's not Keith that's watching this, I want you to know, as someone that is trying my best to educate people about Texas politics in general and how they can be more empowered as voters, I want you to understand that the only reason I'm coming with this energy towards Mr. Keith here is because of the way that he's going about doing it. There's obvious racial undertones behind the takes that he is sharing, and it is being framed in an antagonistic way that is misleading not only to his casual viewers of his content, but also people that could be potential voters here in Texas, and I do not like that, especially because of how intentional and targeted it is. When we could just simply highlight the things we like about our candidate without tearing down the other. Especially when she's experiencing a targeted campaign against her. Yes, we could not do that, Keith. One, you are injecting your unsolicited opinion into the Democratic primary of Texas, right? Texas being the purple, at worst, state that's slathered in red paint due to voter suppression and voter apathy. Now, I want you to pay attention to voter apathy here, right? Right? We have to take whoever wins this primary and they have to go into the general election where everybody has to win, everybody has to vote, right? Do you know how bad of an issue voter turnout is in Texas? You wouldn't, because you don't live here. You so conveniently pointed out here. You said, oh, Ayanna Pressley should mind her business, stay out of Texas. Am I doing this right? Cute. So cute. Yeah, you got it right. You did get right. Yeah, stay out of it. But back to this gutter butt take. This comparison that you are making between their campaigns is harmful, not only to James as a candidate, to Jasmine as a candidate, but it is to Texas, because that's a really big issue here, is you are putting people in Texas that actually live here in danger by doing this, because the actual issue in Texas that is preventing us from flipping it is voter turnout. And you are getting people all caught up in this whole like back and forth at a primary level. It's going to disrupt things for the general, which you would know if you actually listened to Jasmine in this video. And look, I know comprehension issues do not discriminate, but this takeaway you got from this video was very interesting. With what she was really trying to say is that we need to focus on the actual people that do not get up and vote, because that is a problem here in a state like Texas, which again, you would know if you lived here. But again, jump scare. Back to this take. Comparing their campaigns like this, not only does this have racial undertones that I do not like, it also does not make any sense based off of what both of these campaigns have put out. Because I actually know that, because I actually pay attention and I live here. Oh, and Jasmine's my representative. I know a little bit more than you do. This is a critical time in our Democratic primary for us to focus on what it is that these candidates bring to the table. It is not the time to tear down anybody, especially when we are in a optically very interesting race between a black woman and a white Christian man in Texas. Do you think it's really going to help the voter base that is very much made up of people of color for you to be coming at a white man like this and using him to attack, using a white man to attack a black woman like this when you are underscoring her ego and personality? Do you hear the undertones of that, Keith? Can you see how you could be doing a Tallarico a disservice by representing him this way? Because I do. Because one thing I do know, especially about black people, is that we're a very reliable voter base for Democrats. And I do know that if the candidate you all very obviously support, which by the way, I'm undecided, okay? I think both of these candidates are great. So this ain't coming from any place has to do with that, okay? But this candidate that you support very clearly can very obviously not make it into the general election if he does not get enough votes in the primary. Guess who votes a lot in the primary? Black people. Guess who he's trailing behind with in the primary? Black people. Do you think that's helping? Do you think that he could be a victim of people that really like him and want to weaponize him against another candidate in a racialized way and not instead, I don't know, focusing on his strengths that he does have? Do you think that would be more helpful? Again, I'm only coming with this energy because of the energy behind this content, okay? I'm okay with somebody just being wrong, okay? Like, if you're coming at it in good faith and you are just operating off of wrong information, we ain't got a problem, okay? This shit gotta go. Not only that, you went on and then took this clip from Higher Learning Podcast. You took it out of context, put it on Threads to underscore these points you're making about Jasmine that are unfounded and very, very much personal opinion based, which again, you don't live here. And it was so bad that the co-host literally came on your post and said, this is absolutely misleading to the entire conversation on our podcast. Stop. Y'all have too big of platforms to be providing this much misleading information to voters here in Texas. You all do not know what you are talking about. You are mischaracterizing what a path to winning in Texas actually looks like, which again, me, Jasmine, and many other people that actually live here and are operating in the space are operating off of data. Okay? This ain't off of vibes like a lot of other people seem to think. The problem I'm having is you are very heavily, in a very, very biased way, framing information in your content to your many followers in a way that is very antagonistic to the other candidate that eventually all of us are going to have to rally behind. And that is not even counting the racial undertones behind all of it. Now, before we wrap up this video, I wanted to unpack this thread of yours line by line, okay? 1, I'm just giving free advice. Nobody asked you. 2, take it or leave it. We're leaving it. But commenting, are you in Texas, is so reductive. No, it's not. You obviously don't know what the hell you're talking about. So that's kind of the reason why everybody's saying that. Oh, and you have a platform not knowing what you're talking about. Therefore influencing people with the wrong basis of knowledge. Yeah. And then the last sentence here, which is my fave, are you commenting that on all the influencers out of state who are promoting her candidacy? The ones that are doing it with misinformation or in a way that is misleading? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. Because like I said, I'm undecided. I like both candidates. I would like them to have a fair shot to make their case, not somebody in another state, up north, out west, that has no idea what we're dealing with here in Texas. That is what I would like personally. So me and a lot of my followers have been interrogating the people that are actually putting out content and comments with their hot takes about Texas that are very obviously very off. So that's all. Part of this is me making this as a warning. This is a warning to anybody else that might wants to come out here with these very egregious approaches to our Democratic primary that is very consequential in the general election that is going to impact Texans' lives in a deep and significant way. That is why I'm coming so hard, because I'm protective and y'all are fucking with that and I don't like it. So please stop. Thank you.